Okay, so for part 2 of this video, I'm going to get the torque spec out of the way. Basically, I'm going to show you how I replace the O-ring on this output speed sensor, the main shaft, okay, speed sensor, the O-ring right there. You notice the foot-pound is 8.7, okay. That's the first one I'm going to do. And of course the second one I'm going to do is the input shaft sensor, which is this O-ring right there, okay. Torque 8.7 foot-pound, okay. And this bracket up here, I have to loosen it up, okay. Still the same torque, 8.7 foot-pound. And then also show you how to replace the transmission filter, okay. Transmission filter, this one do equip with one. It look like the fuel filter, but it's actually a transmission filter. On this one here, I'm not gonna take out these bolts, but I want to show you this just in case, you know, you have to do it and you have to take these bolts down, so you know, it's look like that bolt right there on the other side of the transmission filter is 21 foot-pound. Everything else is pretty much 8.7, okay, on all the bolts. Okay, so I'm not gonna take this out. I'm just gonna lose the clamp and on this filter, okay. And of course, after that, change the transmission fluid on this one. Okay, so for the transmission fluid drain plug, okay, that's going to be 36 pounds. Okay, right there. Before I get started, just make sure all the connection is back in, right? That connection is in because you don't need it anymore. This connector here, you know, you might want to loosen that because you're gonna loosen this bracket right here, okay. So for part 2, I'm gonna replace the O-ring on the sensor. Yeah. Okay, so for the kit I'm using for this project, it came with the gasket and the O-ring for the solenoid A, B, and C, okay, which I already used, and then what left is the 3 O-rings, okay. So the 3 O-ring, the 2 the same size is the in there is an output shaft. I don't know, you can see it through my camera there, but the sensor is right there, output shaft. And then this one over here, right underneath this bracket, is the input shaft, okay. It's located right on the other side of this bracket, okay. And then the third one, which is the big O-ring, so it's located inside the cover here, and that's the one I'm not gonna touch because you know, it requires a another gasket, which I don't have. Besides, this is a wire harness. I'm not gonna replace it, so there's no use for me to touch this one, the one inside this cover here, okay. And lastly, on this side is the transmission filter right there, okay. Okay, to help me see what's going on, I'm using the that rear view mirror. You see, looking at the reflection of a mirror right there. So that's what I'm gonna do with a 10mm. I'm gonna take out that bolt, okay. Okay, so using a 1/4-inch ratchet, I broke that bolt loose. And there's the bolt, okay. Put that in your magnetic trays or somewhere. Okay, so you're looking at the reflection on the mirror there. So when that bolt is out, what I'm be doing is I'm gonna wiggle that sensor, as you can see right there. Wiggle that sensor, and then try to there's a button on top here. What I do is I push it in, and pull out the connector, okay? And because the sensor now is loosened, so I'm able to wiggle it, you know, back and forth. So these are hole in by O-rings, so I just pull them straight out. That's what it looked like, right there, okay? So on these, what you need to do, you need to clean it up, because this is the output Mainshaft Speed Sensor, okay? So make sure that it's clean. So I'm going to take it out, replace this O-ring right here with the one came in the kit, and of course clean the sensor. Okay, so I'm using a scribe to remove the O-ring out of there, and I'm using also carburetor cleaner, okay, to clean the sensor and put in a new one that came with the kit. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to lubricate this O-ring with the transmission fluid and put this sensor back in. Okay, so there you go. Okay, always lubricate the O-ring with the fluid that it using. Okay, in this case, the transmission fluid. All right, so now I go back, make sure that the area where the sensor came out is clean. Okay. Clean that, and now you can put in the new sensor. Okay, so see, the sensor is in. What I do is I push the sensor all the way in. You should hear it snap. There you go. Okay, same thing. Now I'm using that mirror to help me guide that hole, line up with that mounting hole. Okay, right there. Now put in the bolt. Okay, so what I do is use a 1/4-inch ratchet, 10mm. Okay, and I just tied it in. I don't know, you can show on the mirror there. Okay, so find the connector. It should snap in. There you go. All right, so you're done with the output shaft. Okay, so the next one. So for this one, I'm using a 12mm 3/8 ratchet. Okay, just to broke off that bolt there. You know, just to loosen it. And once that thing loosen, and you can swing this bracket. There it is. Okay. With the bracket removed, you can see that bolt right there. Okay, with the bracket in place, it looked like that. I just swing this bracket out and see the bolt clearly, so you can get that bolt out. Okay, so with a 10mm 1/4-inch ratchet, I was able to break that bolt loose and you know, unscrewed it with my finger. Like so. There's the bolt. Get that out of the way. Alright, so same as before, what I'm doing. I get my hand in there and then I just wiggle it a little bit. Okay, wiggle it using up and down motion to loosen that, you know, just loosen that O-ring from the inside. Alright, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to find the connector. What I do is push it inward toward the front of the car. At the end of the connector, there's a tab there, and you just pull them out. Okay? Because this thing is already wiggled. You know, already wiggled back and forth. So next thing I do is put my hand in and pull them out. Alright, so this is the output shaft sensor. As you see, it's a little shorter than the input. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna clean it up with carburetor cleaner, replace this O-ring, and put them back. Okay. Okay, there it is. Okay, I take out the old O-ring, put in the new one. Okay, of course, make sure the sensor is clean, and always check to make sure this O-ring is in straight, not twisted. Okay, because if you have a twist in here, you're gonna have a leaks. Okay. Okay, there it is. Okay, lubricate the O-ring with transmission fluid and make sure that hole that you gonna slide this in is clean. Okay, so next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna slide in the sensor just like that. That hole right there gonna line on top. Okay, do it through the mirror here. Okay, there it is. Okay, once you got it in, all you have to do is press the sensor, okay, in all the way toward the front of the car. There you go. Okay, you should hear that thing snap in. And then what you want to do now is align that bolt hole up using the mirror, so it's easy for you to see. Okay, that hole looks like it's aligned up perfectly. Okay, I got that thing in first time, so that mirror really help out. Have it all the way in again using the 10mm socket. Okay, I'm just gonna tighten it up. Make sure you connect the connector back. Check on the other side. Make sure you also connect the other sensor back. Okay, now moving on to the transmission filter. Okay, so when you pull this out, this heater hose out, and then so with the other one, just get that out of the way. So there's a filter right there. Alright, so on the side you see that bolt right there. So I'm going to loosen that bolt up. Okay, so there it is. Okay, using that 10mm socket. There's the bolt. And let me see if I can. Look like just like a strap. Well, there you go. The strap just fell down. Alright. This is the trouble I have. Okay. So basically what I do is I remove this right here. Mine is broke off. Basically it's a clip back here. You push it and you pull up. I push it. Mine broke off. Okay. So I take this out. Which is something that I really didn't like the way it broke off. But it's okay because you can take a zip tie and tie it. Okay. And then this hose right here. So what you want to do, what I do is I move it all the way up to where the intake is at. That way it stay up there to get out of the way for you. Okay. The problem you have, and as you can see, I use the needle nose clamp all the way back, and then finally with a plier hold on to that hose and twist this, and I'm able to get this out. Okay. There's the filter. Okay, I'm going to show you how easy it is to remove this filter. Okay, don't let this picture fool you because it's harder than it seems. Okay, now on the outlet side of the filter, which is the side with the big bellow here, okay, there's a hose right there with the clamp, the yellow clamp right here. Okay, that clamp is hooked on, that hose is hooked onto this pipe right here. You don't have a problem taking it out. Okay, on this side. On this side here, I really have problem because the way it's set and the plier keeps slipping on me. So it took me like 45 minutes to move this clamp from this location down here so I can get out this filter. Okay, now here's an easy way. You see this clamp right here, this clamp right here. Okay, if you crawl underneath your car, which I assume that you're gonna change your transmission fluid when you change this filter. Okay, underneath the car, that same clamp is right there. Okay, all you do underneath the car, you have all the room you need, and all you do is take the plier, pull that clamp down, and loosen that hose up. Here's a filter right there. Okay, now here's a 3/4 inch regular hose clamp that I replaced, that I put in instead of using the original clamp. That way next time it's easy for me to get it on top. Okay, so you can do it underneath your car. It's easier. Save yourself a lot of time and frustration. Okay, I hope this will help. Okay, there it is. This is a 85,000 mile transmission filter. This is a new one. Okay, so I put little transmission fluid on each end. This is the one that locate on top, and I have no problem with it, so I'm going to leave this clamp the way it is. On this end here, just on this end, I'm going to replace it with the 3/4 inch hose clamp, just on this end. Okay, yeah, that way it's help me next time getting out easy. Okay, because these hose clamp, they're not a regular size, and on the other end it's very hard to get out. Okay, this one here is the one that go on top of your transmission. Okay, so the hose go in like that, and there it is. Okay, this one ready to put them back in. Here I put that 3/4 inch hose clamp. Okay, I arrange it in a way where I can easily tighten it. Okay, right there. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to slide this in. Okay, there it is. All right, I'm using 8mm or 5/16. Okay, you can use 5/16 or 8mm on here. Okay, so I tie it down. Okay, so once you have the filter, everything in, okay, next thing you want to do is put in this clamp. Okay, on this clamp here, you notice on one side, this side, that's where the bolt, the mounting bolt is. The other side, they have a little rectangular box right here. Okay, so I'm using the old filter as an example. All right, you see how this part of the filter go into that groove like that. Okay, that part of the filter right there, this is an inlet side, this is a smaller side. The outlet side is a big side, and this one go on the top side, this one going down. Okay, I got a hose going down on the other end. So this is an old filter. So basically the strap, this mounting bracket here, will snap on to the filter like that. Okay, that part right there will ride onto that groove. So what you want to do is hook that rectangular part onto that hook right there. Okay, so what you want to do is hook the bracket onto that hook first. All right, and then align your filter to it's right onto that groove, and just press it down so it snap in just like that. Once it snap in with this thing on, this bolt should be aligned. Okay, there it is. Okay, the rectangular box right there, I'm gonna align it into that hook just like that. Okay, so in other words, your filter, it looks something like that. Okay, so now what you want to do is align this groove onto that bracket and press that bracket down. Okay, so there it is. Okay, that thing just snap on. Is finger tight. Put this bolt back in. So there it is. Okay, I have this finger tight. What you need is one hand, pull on the front of this hose, pull toward the front of the car, wiggle it. Okay, wiggle it, and then the other hand finger tie that thing in, and it should. And that's how I got this thing started. Okay, so once I got that bolt start, what I'm gonna do with a 10mm ratchet, okay, there it is. Okay, so once you get the filter in, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this hose and I'm gonna install this clamp, whatever you want to call it, the hose holder, and then I'm gonna zip tie it in. Okay, make sure this thing's set down flush with a bracket. That just zip it tight it like so. Okay, all right, and then you press that hose down, and now for the upper hose, the one that I put on top here, I'm just gonna move it downward. Put this on like so. Okay. Okay. So after you've done that, you're ready to install the intake or air filter box. Okay. So for the filter box, what I do is I try to make that thing go in first and maneuver this side here so it steer away from the transmission mount like that. Okay, and as you can see, it's almost aligned right there to that intake. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to push it in, but at the same time, this one right here is the alignment thing, and you press it down and it should align. You see how that thing align all the way? So what you want to do is bring this up before you do anything. Okay, and it should slide, everything should slide in place once you have that thing aligned. So what you want to do is start these bolts right here, this one right here. Okay, finger tie that in. This bolt back here, you may not be able to seeing it because this is the hard one to see. Your hand, one hand on this side, push it inward, push it back and forth, and wiggle it into, you have that bolt. It should be pushed down. Okay, you can feel that it's going down, and then you can get this start really easy. Okay, and then I use the universal joint 10mm, and then I finger tight this thing in. Tight this one too. Okay, that thing going in. Now I hook on my ratchet and tight it down. That bolt too. Okay, tight it down. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is put on my 7/32 socket. Alright, and tie down this holes here. Just snug these, okay? Because these are plastic. They don't need to be super tight because you might break them. Alright, so once you got that, don't forget about this front hose right here. Okay? It say up, so it go into that arrow. And then on this side here, it's gonna go into that slot right there. So you just slice it in like that, okay? And now with this, what I do is I just push this thing in all the way like that, okay? And then on this side, you have a flexibility on this hose here, and you just hook on to that pipe like so. Okay, all right, next thing you want to do now is use a plier. Okay, and just mount these hose clamp back on. That one there, this one right there. Okay, mount it back where it was, or it used to be. Okay, I put a little string on here so this clamp won't fall out. Okay, next thing you want to do now is air filter. Okay, air filter go in one way like so, and then the other one, the top of the air filter, just align this hole in there, and it should slide in perfectly so you can snap this in. Okay, snap this for snapper like so. After that, what you want to do, hook onto this map sensor thing, connect it. Okay, that's it. That's it. You're done with the installing the intake box. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to jack up this car and do a transmission fluid change. Okay, so I roll my underneath the car here. Okay, so there's a transmission right here, and the oil pan is right here. So I don't see any leak. Okay, I'm using a 3/8 breaker bar. Okay, just put it on like so, and I'm going to try to pull that down, but I don't think I have enough leverage. So I have to use a little equalizer here. Found this piece of pipe, and I use that for my breaker bar. Okay, so what I do, I'm going to pull this toward the front of the car to loosen it. There you go. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to loosen this out. The drain plug. Okay, there you go. See how much oil I get out of here. Okay, there's a transmission plug with a magnetic tip on there. I'm gonna clean this all up. Okay, and let it drain. Okay, for this transmission drain plug, all you have to do is use brake cleaner. Clean off the magnetic area up here, and of course the thread. Replace the aluminum washer, and what you want to do is wait for your transmission fluid to finish draining, and put this drain plug back to your transmission. Torque it down to 36 pounds. Okay, so there it is. I put my drain plug back in after I clean the area there, and I'm gonna tie this down much as I can. Okay, and what I'm going to do, set my ratchet to tight. Put it in there. Okay, so when you tight, just keep in mind that the direction you want is toward the rear of the car. Okay, when you loosen, you pulled it to the front of the car. Okay, so after I got that pretty much tight there, I'm going to use a torque wrench. I'm going to slide this oil pan out slowly because you don't want it to spill. Tight it until I hear it click like that. See that? That's okay. There it is. Okay, take out your dipstick and pull out your dipstick, and of course clean the area and clean the funnel. Put a funnel in, pour in 2.5 quart. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to after pour in 2.5, I'm going to start up the engine, and I'm going to start check for leaks. Okay, so all the wet stuff there you see are brake cleaner. It's not transmission fluid. I just clean the area before I pull the dipstick out. That way to ensure nothing fall inside the transmission. Okay, so let's start this up. Okay, so brake lights on because I got parking brake on. It's still on the ramp. Seat belt, I don't have to worry about that. Okay, no check engine light, so it's good. Next thing I'm going to do, crawl underneath the car and check for the fluid leaks. Hopefully I don't find any. Okay, so I'm crawling under my car. This is the drain plug. Right here, it looks dry. That's good. Okay, so let me make my way inside here. Okay, so right there, area where I shine the light, where that clamp is, that's the bottom of the transmission filter. And in there you're gonna see that new hose clamp that I put on. It looks dry, so that's a good sign. And this side here, okay, there's the other side of the filter. So look good. It look dry. Don't seem to have a leak, which is good. I think I'm going to tap myself on the back and say, yay! Alright, so everything good. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take this for a test drive and, of course, recheck the transmission fluid. Okay? Okay, after test drive the car, the only thing I can say is, wow, it shifts much smoother. The loud humming sound when I go downhill is gone. Okay? So this maintenance is very successful. Only thing I want to bring up is I have to add like a quarter of the quart in, after the engine, after the, I test drive it and park at the level and check the transmission fluid. So for me, it's a 2.75 or 2 3/4 quart. Okay. Maybe because I park on the ram when I drain the oil, it might drain out a little more. But the Honda repair manual saying that at the oil change is 2.5, and if you overhaul your transmission, then it's 6.2. Okay. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please read my description because I'll be putting the Honda OEM parts for this project, and also any updates that I may have. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe and share this video. Have a wonderful day. Bye.